So my first round started at 9 a.m. and it was one of the most difficult rounds that I've ever faced in an interview because I was not expecting a segmentary problem in an interview.
Okay, so they asked you a segmentary question in the first Microsoft.
Yeah, so
Today, hello guys, with the name of God Ram Ram, I am Kumar K. Previously, I worked as a software engineer at Amazon and Mia.net. I cracked those offers off campus despite being from a tier 4 college. Specifically during COVID, I did that. And coming to my love for DSA, I am rated Guardian on LeetCode rating 2242. Okay, I'm in the top 0.7% DSA coders in the world on LeetCode. Coming to one more precious achievement of mine, which is world rank 313 and all India rank 12 out of lakhs of people in Google Code Jam 2021, which is the toughest algorithmic DSA competition in the whole world. Apart from that, many students of mine have cracked FAANG offers in 2025 and many continue to follow the same trend of achievement in 2026. Okay. I am very happy because हमारे साथ हमारी personal mentoring student Vinita है, and Vinita has recently cracked off campus software engineer offer from Microsoft. So let's talk to Vinita. ओके फिर जब आपने उधर अप्लाई किया तो आपको कितना टाइम के बाद उन्होंने ओई की लिंक सेंड करी थी विनीता?
रफली 3 हफ्ते बाद ओटी का लिंक आया था.
ओके 3 हफ्ते बाद ओटी का लिंक आया था. और ऑनलाइन टेस्ट मतलब आपने दिया था तो उसका क्या एक्सपीरियंस था, क्या क्या पूछा गया था?
सो ऑनलाइन टेस्ट में क्वेश्चंस बहुत ज़्यादा हार्ड थे. 2 घंटे का टेस्ट था कोडेलिटी प्लेटफॉर्म पे. एक बहुत हार्ड ग्रीडी क्वेश्चन था और एक बहुत हार्ड डीपी क्वेश्चन था.
अच्छा, क्या वो क्वेश्चंस आपने पहले कभी देखे थे, सेम टू सेम आए थे कि अलग थे?
कंप्लीटली अनसीन क्वेश्चंस थे. मैंने बहुत सारे डीपी ग्रीडी के क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किए LeetCode GFG पे, पर ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन कभी देखा नहीं था मैंने. और कुमार के सर का गाइडेंस बहुत हेल्प हुआ कि उन्होंने पहले ही बता दिया था कि ये टॉपिक्स आने के बहुत ज़्यादा चांस है, और वो उनके प्रो DSA प्लान से पूरा पढ़ रही थी, तो थिंकिंग स्किल्स डेवलप हुए थे बहुत सारे और बहुत क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर पाई थी.
वेरी गुड. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट योर DSA आउटपुट इज नथिंग बट एनर्जी मल्टीप्लाइड बाय फोकस. So guys, this is going to be a very detailed technical guide which is going to explain you in very much detail what mistakes you should avoid so you can directly reach your goals. You might be aiming for some FAANG software engineering roles or FAANG adjacent companies or top product based companies, right? So in 2026, because of AI, the entire landscape, is changing. So I'm going to explain you each and everything in detail. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. The nice thing about this video will be that I'm going to explain this with the help of a recently asked Microsoft interview question, which is a very hard unseen DSA problem on graphs. So while solving this problem, how many different types of mistakes a candidate can do, even if you solve the problem correctly, then also you can fail the interview. That's why I made this video for you. I can guarantee if you watch this video till the end, if you note down all the points, you are destined to crack FAANG and get 50 to 80 LP offers. Okay, so listen to me very carefully. The most important mistake which people do, which I've discussed in one of my videos like few months ago, which is not following the coding interview etiquette. So guys, you need to know that following the coding interview etiquette, or we call it as the FAANG coding interview etiquette, is very important. Coding interview etiquette. Basically, whenever you are in the interview, the number one mistake which people do is that they see the question which is pasted on the editor and then they start writing the code for it. Once they are done with the code, they tell to the interviewer, hello, my code is done. Even if your code is 101% correct, you are going to get rejected. Now, you might say that, sir, when I got the question, I talked a little bit with the interviewer. Then I took the permission from the interviewer to write the code. Then I silently wrote the code. Then I submitted it. In this case, also 101% chances of failure. Why? When someone is taking your software engineering interview, SW interview, they want to see how will you work with them in a project. So when you're working with someone in a project, you need to be a very good communicator. Okay, you need to be a very good communicator. You need to discuss all the assumptions with them, all the trade-offs with them, okay, all the things within the scope of the project. And even while you are implementing now, or before implementing, during implementing, and after the implementation, you need to be constantly in communication with your team members or with the people with whom which you are working on that project. So the best thing is that when you are writing code now, you should be like, as you're writing, simultaneously explain the code as well. That makes the process very easy. So you wrote few, like 2-3 lines of code. Simultaneously, you will start speaking also about this code. That now I'm writing this thing. Now I'm going to the next for loop for this procedure. I will be using I will be giving this variable name to this iterator, this variable name to this array. I will be using multiple functions to make it look to follow all the solid principles, to make it look like a production level code. These things, when you communicate in front of the interviewer while writing code, now your impression gets 100x compared to other people. There are other people in your competition who will get the same question in that Microsoft interview. They will just do like normal people, talk a little bit with the interview in the start, silently write the code and then submit. But you will beat them. This will give you an edge over others if you follow all the coding interview etiquette. So like this document is available in the video description. Make sure you go through it. So all the coding interview etiquette, like if you are a part of my 851-hour structured course, these things are explained for 10 hours there. But in textual format for YouTube community, for you people, it's here. Like I did not know these things. There was a software engineer in Google. Her name was Tanya Rajans. Like when I was in 3rd, 4th year, I did not have all this guidance. She was my friend and she told me all these things. And I started following it and it helped me so much. So these things students don't know. The only way to know these things is by failing yourself for a few months or years or getting the knowledge from the person who has already done it. So the first thing is listen to the person, always use good variable names, use appropriate functions wherever needed and write properly structured code. Always follow indentation. While writing code, explain each and every line procedure simultaneously. This creates a good impression on the interviewer as they are able to know your communication skills by the way you are explaining code as you write. Guys, this is the most important pointer. Because I did not do these things, I failed some of my FAANG, interviews in the starting of my journey. Even though I was writing all the correct solutions. Never jump into the implementation coding directly. First explain the solution idea clearly to the interviewer. As soon as the interviewer gives you the coding problem, ask all your doubts, assumptions, and requirements from the interviewer. Explain the solution not just orally, but by writing few things in the space given by the interviewer in the virtual round. Like they give you the white space, write 5, 8, 10 statements, equations, inputs, outputs on your own to fill that space and make it look attractive. Because in the final hiring debrief, only the interviewer is not going to decide. In your 4 or 5 interview rounds, multiple people have taken your interview. So all of them are going to meet in a meeting and they will discuss your feedback. When they discuss your feedback, guys, please remember the memory bias. They don't exactly remember how you performed. Like this is such an important point, memory bias. They don't exactly remember how you performed. So all they will have is your code editor and the white space which was given to you. That is saved with them. If you have only written code, they will know that, yeah, it's just a normal candidate. They will just check if this code is correct or not. But if you have written lots of explanation in this white space given to you, okay, if you have written lots of explanation in this white space given to you, you have discussed multiple trade-offs. Like if you do like the multiple approaches you have discussed, if you do this, it helps with the time and space complexity. If you do this, space complexity increases but time complexity decreases. These are all the multiple approaches and this one is the best fitted as per the interviewer and your conversation. So you have written the code for that. In that case, even if the code has little bit bugs, you will be forgiven for them. Forgiven for those things in most of the cases. Because you were a good communicator and you actually understood what was happening. So you would be able to fix the bug as well if it was a real project going on. So all of them have those white editors or whatever you wrote in the interview with them. So if you have lots of things, they all will think that, yeah, you were a good guy. And if you spoke while writing each line of interview, it will give 101% more better impression. They will remember that thing in their mind, in their neural networks connections. And they will give you a strong hire. So these things people do miss. I want you to be fully attentive. Now, guys, the next biggest mistake is stop practicing standard DSA sheets, guys. Most of the students, I don't want to take the name of the sheets like Blind 75. There are many more standard DSA sheets. And you know how those influencers are these days rage baiting the users and, trying to scam the users. So the thing is that, see, if you're doing someone's standard DSA sheet, it is not a scam. It's okay. You can do that. It helps you with the understanding of basics of DSA. But guys, that is not enough. You have to deal with hard unseen LLM proof problems or hard unseen DSA problems in the online assessment, which are not covered in any standard DSA sheets. Standard DSA sheets is like preparing for 10th and 12th standard board level mathematics. And online assessments of FAANG companies and top product based companies is like preparing for JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. What is the difference in JEE Mains, JEE Advanced compared to board exams? In JEE Mains, JEE Advanced, they ask you hard and new questions. Same goes for DSA coding. So you need to be very, very careful about this point, okay? Because you need to check which type of OA problems they are asking. Like I will try to show you one of them. Like just let me search. Wait. Just let me write Microsoft Array A and B. Yeah. So if I load it in front of you, see, this is such a difficult Microsoft online assessment problem asked in October 29, 2025. It involves 3-dimensional to 4-dimensional dynamic programming. Okay. It is a hard unseen DSA problem. You cannot find it in any DSA sheet. Even if you do 500 problems of all the DSA sheets, you will not be able to tackle this problem. This problem requires you to think logically and discuss in your mind what can be the different approaches, brainstorm before finally reaching to a solution. Also, in any DSA sheet, you are not going to find 4-dimensional DP problems and things like that. So this problem was recently asked in Microsoft Online Assessment. So what types of skills are needed for this? Like that recent Microsoft OA problem, which I showed you, like I will tell you a little bit about it. It requires a 3-dimensional to 4-dimensional DP solution. If you are doing standard easy medium LeetCode GFG problem and DSA sheets, it's not enough to crack this one. The next thing which you require is you need to do its very smart optimization also. So you need to learn these tricks, hard unseen DSA OA CP tricks. Then Most difficult thing is how would you realize if this problem is DP or not? If you have done standard DSA questions, the problem with the people who do standard DSA questions is they end up memorizing stuff. They have looked at the same question so many times, so they already know what to do in that question. But when a new question comes up, they don't know what to do. And the online assessments, all the companies ask new questions only because it is 2026 AI era. Companies don't want the people who can memorize all the patterns and the standard questions. That's why companies are throwing new engineering and coding problems in front of you in the interviews and in the online assessments, so that you can prove that you're a human with a higher level thinking skills. Okay. So in this case, it's very difficult to understand if this is a DP problem or not. And if this is a DP problem, what should be the state of that DP you have to make? What should be the transition as per the question requirements? These things are not taught in any standard DSA sheets and tutorials. So if you want to conquer all these things, what is the starting point of your preparation? Starting point is go and start practicing all the hard unseen OA questions of the companies from which I recently asked. They are always available on LeetCode, Discuss, Google Search, Reddit. Or if you want a structured way, you can just start doing my free course here, guys. This is the best free course for DSOA CP. If you do it, you will always have that starting point of strength in you to understand the solution or find the solution on your own for 50 to 80% hard level DSOA CP problem. So just do this free course. And for dynamic programming, I will really recommend you to complete these 5 dynamic programming videos. They make you ready for these type of hard unseen Microsoft OA problems. Okay. Now, I also give free weekend live training on DSOA CP on Saturday, Sunday in this WhatsApp group, so you can join that as well. Okay. Now, guys, let's go to our very lovely case study. I'm like very, very happy to show you this case study. So, guys, this was the Microsoft interview problem asked recently. You can see that everything is pretty chill, but what they're saying that a grid is given to you. In this grid, like if you want, like while watching this video, after watching this video, or while watching this video, whatever you want, most probably after watching this video, you can check the video solution of this question, okay? Because some people who are beginner in DSA and programming might not understand what I'm trying to tell them, right? So this is the Microsoft case study part which we are now discussing. So a grid is given to you. Some are red cells, some are blue cells. You have to find the shortest possible distance between a red cell and blue cell, and you can like start your journey from any red cell and you can go in any 4 directions in one move. So red cells are denoted by 2 and blue cells are denoted by 3 and the empty cells are denoted by 0. Output the minimum distance possible between 2 varied pairs. This is a very nice graph multi-source problem of DSA, okay? Graph DSA multi-source problem. So just complete the graph course from it here, because if you do the standard DSA sheets, you will again never find this question and you will not be able to solve this new problem. So I have made the course in such a manner not to memorize you patterns, but to make you be able to solve any type of DSA question based on any pattern, any topic. I am trying to develop the seeds of creative, structured and problem solving analytical thinking in your mind by this course, because that is the need of the hour and no one is discussing this. The people who crack these offers, they do many hard DSA questions, and after cracking they don't tell you the truth. They don't tell you the truth about the amount of hard work it takes. So I'm trying to make this path easy for you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. So guys, in this case, like I'm directly going to jump to the solution. So you are given a very big matrix, like, right? So you are going to convert this matrix to a graph in 4 directional ways, right? So whichever nodes are like left, right connected to 2, you will just connect them. So let's say this is 3, this is 3, this is 2, this is 2. Let's say this is 2, this is 2. Okay, something like that. Okay. So what you will do is like you are going to create a very smart graph, right? What you will do is that you will connect this 2 and this 2. All these 2s you will connect it to a source node, multi-source BFS. Okay. All the 2s you will connect it to a very smart source node. Okay, that's all you have to do. Clear? Clear? And these 3s, you don't need to connect them to any other node. Okay. From this source node, you will start the BFS. And the BFS will immediately tell that if all these 2s were considered as a single structure, what would be the shortest distance of these 2 from this particular 3 and this particular 3. That's what our multi-source BFS will tell us. If you are not understanding what I'm saying, just watch this video solution. Link is in the Google chat. Sorry, I teach so many students this, so I have the habit of saying Google chat. The link is in the YouTube comments. Okay, clear? So many people can still fail this interview. Why? When this question is presented, you are supposed to discuss all your assumptions with the interviewer. If you forget to discuss all the assumptions, discuss about the inputs, outputs, and discuss about the expectations of the interview from the problem. See, you have to ask the interviewer what can be the n into m sizes, what can be the amount of red cells or blue cells and empty cells, how large can the grid be, and also your multiple approaches that you have, one solution with DFS, another solution with BFS, which one the interviewer wants you to discuss more, or is interviewer okay with any type of the solutions. These things you need to discuss in the start only. Then don't proceed to solve the question. See, in this question the input output is not given, so either you ask the interviewer for the input output or you make a valid input output as per your own understanding and get it validated from the interviewer. Okay, always do this thing which many people miss. Get multiple input and output, like depending on the amount of free time you have in that interview. Free time means Like, you know that a normal question is given in 50-60 minutes, you know, you can code it up in 5-10 minutes, but then you need to do these things also. Get all the inputs and outputs validated by the interviewer. Very, very important for FAANG software engineering roles, okay? And this is a hard unseen DSA problem. So if you fear hard and new graph DSA problems and you don't know this multi-source BFS tricks and in which ways it can be applied, see, having knowledge is not enough. You need to also know how to apply that knowledge in different scenarios, right? So these can be the things which make you fail. Now, other tips which can make you fail, even if you write the correct code, even if you give the correct solution, these are the things which can make you fail. So let me open the correct solution where we do multi-source BFS from two sides, right? See, you can see that I joined all the nodes with values 2 here, right? And I did the BFS to know that this structure of 2 has the shortest distance from which 3. But there are so many 3s now. So I'm checking the shortest distance from each possible 3. Now interviewer says that, okay, this logic is correct. But can you do this thing? Can you decrease the number of iterations in your code? Ha ha ha. Follow up. You know, they ask you follow up to check and test your thinking skills. See, no one on YouTube is going to do this much level of deep analysis for you. I am doing it because I love you. And I want really the best for you. So my whole life is dedicated to you. So listen to me. Life should only, like, my whole life is dedicated to God and then you. So let me correct that statement. In every ingoing and outgoing breath, you always need to take the name of God, Ram Ram, like this. This will make you reach moksha, and more details about it you will see in the YouTube description. So guys, the follow-up is that you have written the code correctly, but how can you decrease the number of iterations in the code? There are multiple ways to do them. You can do that, but the most important point is you can erase these 2 loops for finding the shortest distance to 3. BFS is the shortest path type of algorithm when the edges are unweighted. So in the BFS only, when you encounter 3 for the first time, you should stop that BFS rather than checking finally the shortest distance of those bunch of 2s using multiple source BFS to each of the 3s. So you see, this thing, if you're not able to do, you might again fail the interview or might not get strong hire, right? So you can see that the last 2 loops are eliminated, and in the BFS only, I'm checking if I reach a 3, I mark my flag as 1 and my BFS stops, because if C is 0, BFS continues, C is 1, it stops. So you can see how nicely I did it. Now, even after that, you can fail. Why? Like, extra optimization, extra space optimization trade-offs. Like, this is very hard to spot, okay? So currently you can see in this code, what is happening is that we are using like multiple arrays, right? N cross M array, this one, G. We are using Q, which might store N into M elements. We are using used array and level array. So currently, like, this is our solution. What we are doing? We are using a Q, which can store N into M elements, okay? Which can store N into M elements, okay? Then we are using a grid, which is of the size N into M, right? We are doing this thing also. What else we are doing? We are using level array, which again is N cross M array. We are using used array, which again is N cross M. So the total space complexity is O of N into M, but the problem is, theoretically it is O of N into M, but really it is 4 into O of N into M, right? So interviewer might ask that in the practical world, what can you do to decrease the space which you're actually using? So very smartly, what you can do, it is so nice, man, like really. You can eliminate the used array. How to eliminate the used array? You can check in the documents. So for this, you need really deep graph knowledge. Level array is just enough. Used array is not needed. Okay. Level array is just enough. And a queue. So, you know, this type of optimization is also possible in this case. You can just eliminate the used array. When level is 0, it means you can assume that it is not visited. And it makes the things really easy, nice. Okay. Now, there are some other optimizations where you store most of the things in the queue only. Okay. Because when you declare this array and this array, what happens is that a fixed N into M space is taken. But when you declare a queue fixed, the space is not taken. You are doing BFS now. It means that at most you will visit N into M cells. But if you reach a 3 earlier, you might not have to reach N into M cells. So generally the queue will take less than N into M space. So if you declare less 2-dimensional arrays and try to store more data in queue, it is more practically efficient. This is what separates you in FAANG software engineering roles. These types of optimizations you need to discuss with the interviewer. Okay, when they ask you the follow-ups, or they, like, before, even if you have written the normal code, you can at least speak about them, that currently we're using this, but we can eliminate this array also to save more space, or we can save more data in the queue because queue is doing BFS, right? So practically BFS will not Like if we find a 3 earlier, we will not have to travel the whole matrix. So if we store more things, data in the queue instead of the 2D array, it becomes practically much better. So, but this approach is totally correct, but we can do that as well. If the interview discussion is going in that direction, you should discuss that as well. Now, guys, there is one more hard follow-up. Like this type of follow-ups you will not find in any LeetCode problems. That's why I'm saying, like, whoever is my 851 hour structured course now, I have like 1,000-hour recordings and problems of all these types, which makes my students very strong. So you guys don't need to worry, but the people who are watching on YouTube, please listen. These things which I'm telling you, it can help you in many different ways. Just follow them. Just follow them. From now, whenever you're doing question, think about these things also after doing the question. Extra follow-up can make you fail. Extra follow-up. So what is the extra follow-up in the problem? Like here you can see, they are asking to also print the cell I, j and k, l, which does the job, like which is the closest cell of 2, 2 and 3, 3. If there are multiple, you can print any of them. So for 3, 3, so it is clearly known. As soon as you see 3, 3, you stop. So you know which is the cell of 3, 3. But how will you know which 2 is closest to this 3? You now need to declare 2 more 2-dimensional array, G6, Gx and Gy. Now when you are doing BFS, each cell will carry that this cell is closest to which cell coordinate of 2. My goodness, this is such a deep concept. Now see, not just optimization, guys, it is talking about the concept also. If you don't know that the multi-source BFS from all the 2s or multiple source BFS happening from all the 2s, you can also track for each cell it is closest to which particular 2. Not just the closest distance to 2, but closest to which particular 2 by doing this Gx, Gy manipulation. Many candidates are not able to reach till here. But let's say you do this also, then guys also you can like read this document for detailed discussion. There is a final extra optimization after this. Guys, if you crack that as well, then FAANG interviews are just yours. Extra optimization. So even in this problem, use case, you can just remove the Gx and Gy 2-dimensional arrays. Okay, you can smartly do it. Like you don't really need Gx, Gy. You can store the Gx, Gy data in just the queue. I told you, na, store all that data in the queue. So if you store all that extra data in the queue, things become easy. Like here I have not done that. Here I have not done that. But you can store it in the queue and get it done. Okay, the final optimization is here. So guys, you can see that in the queue, I'm storing this node X and Y, SX, XY. Please watch this recording. This is such a brilliant problem of graph, multi-source BFS and so many optimizations and follow-ups. It makes a person like a Goku Super Saiyan 3. So this optimization is also possible. देख रहे हो? हम सब ट्रैक कर पा रहे हैं. हमने सिर्फ एक क्यू यूज किया और एक जी 2-डायमेंशनल एरे हमने इनपुट के लिए लिया और दूसरा 2-डायमेंशनल एरे लेवल के लिए. बस यूज्ड एरे भी नहीं यूज किया, 2-डायमेंशनल वाला GX भी नहीं यूज किया, GY भी नहीं किया. Best optimization. Extreme optimization is also possible. Extreme optimization is you don't even use the level array anymore. Extreme optimization. But guys, be careful. If the interviewer asks you, then only go for the extreme optimization, because in extreme optimization, you will remove the level array and you will have to manipulate the G array, which is giving you the input. So never go for extreme optimizations in your FAANG software engineering roles. Extreme optimization is what? You use the G2D array, you use the Q, and you don't use anything else. So Q is always taking less than equal to n into m space, and G is taking fixed n into m space. And you are able to answer everything. The shortest distance, which 2 pairs have shortest distance, good. But you should not do this. You should at least use a level array also. Why? Because in Microsoft software engineering or FAANG software engineering roles, we are supposed to write production quality code. Okay. So in production, when you are getting some input from the G array and you are supposed to produce some output, you should just produce the correct output efficiently. But you should never produce the output by manipulating the input. Like if you just use these two things, then you will have to change the data of the G array, G 2-dimensional array. So even this is extremely efficient, but the G2D array can never be reused by some other service or other function in that code. So if the interviewer asks you for extreme optimization, okay, go ahead, do it. But tell them that this is not production quality. Because in the actual production quality code, this G2-dimensional array, if I manipulate and other services need that data later on, it will be a total mess. Depending on the business requirement, we can do something. If business requirement allows us to like manipulate the input, okay. But generally for the software engineering requirements, we should not manipulate the input, right? So have these types of insightful engineering, brainstorming, intellectual discussions with FAANG software engineers. And then how can you not get selected? None of your competitors are doing this. So hopefully this video was very high value for you. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want more videos like these. I have many videos which have the solutions to many companies' recent OA and interview problems, because no one does that for their students. If you only do standard DSA sheets and the old standard DSA problems which are asked 5 to 10 years ago, they were popular. Now everyone knows their solution. How are you differentiating yourself from others? If everyone is doing the same 100 200 DSA questions, you are no different. You are not going to get something different. If you want to separate yourself, check the recent market trends, AI trends. What are the companies asking in OAs and interviews? What are their expectations? Do proper research on LeetCode, discuss. Be active on YouTube channels like this, and grow your mind. Have open mind. Like, have a growth mindset. Open mindset. Like, have an open mind and growth mindset. Like, I don't know if open mindset is something, but you need to have a growth mindset. Ram Ram. In every ingoing and outgoing breath, always take the name of God Ram Ram like this, so you can reach moksha. Because after some years, anyways, you have to leave the planet. So attaining moksha is most important thing for Ram.